So 2000 year wise, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. Now, so what are the types of variables that I can see here? So you can see these two are considered as only the numeric variables. Okay, so in 2018, my data is my demand is 50. 2019, demand is 60. 2020, demand is this one. So this is what the demands that we can see. Okay, suppose if I just wanted to see what will be the demand in 2024, 25, 26, so I can use this trend line. Okay, so since this is what our data, I'm just going to this one. Okay, so I'm taking year in a column, so year in a row, and what is demand here. Okay, so this is what the trend line which you can see. Okay, so x-axis about demand. I think I have to change this one. So here I'm taking this one, and so here if I take this one, and so demand this, so this is what year wise the demand. Okay, so if I want to see what exactly my the trend line for that one, so you can just click here. Okay, so I'm click right click, there is something called as annotate. So if you just use that annotate thing, either you can mark, let's see, it's not working fine. So annotate, either you can mark or you can point or you can area. Suppose if you just want to see this area thing, so it identifies only this point with a box. Okay, so this is the box of that area, but I don't want annotation here, I want to have a trend line. So if I just use that trend line here, so show trend line, so usually this is going to be a horizontal line because I'm talking about this particular point. Okay, if I click that at this point, again I'll get a horizontal line. So whenever I click on any particular point, it will show only horizontal line. If I click on any other normal, so this is what the basic trend line which is shown. Is that clear? So this is a trend line which shows what is going to what is happening for this particular line. Okay, so if you just see the same thing which we have done for this trend line. Okay, so this is what in the last class we have seen. Okay, suppose if this is the case in Excel, how this happens is, okay, so if you are going to insert a line, so this is what Excel output. So here, if I just click this add this one, and if you use a trend line, so this is what the line which it has shown. And if you want to see like what exactly the line is talking about, so intercept and R square. Okay, so you see this here, R square is 0.91 and the trend line is 6.42 x plus 46.33. So this assumes, Excel has assumed this to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and next year it's going to be 7, 8. But Tableau did not assume like that, and it has considered for 2018 demand is 50, for 2019 demand is 60, 2020 the demand is 72, 2021 demand is 68. Okay, because of that, if I use the same thing trend line here, so when I just try to place my trend line here, it is showing 6.428 into year plus, that is minus 12920.1, and R squared for that is 0.9168. And if you try to compare this with this one, R square is 0.9168 and here 6.4286 into x. X is year here. The same thing that you can see this at this place also. Whenever you try to place your cursor here, you will be able to see 6.428 into year. But the constant term is varying here because it is considering this as a numerical variable but not a time series variable. Okay, because of that you are getting a difference here. And you see something else, p value 0.0026. If p value is 0.0026, what is interpretation of that? Trend line in Tableau has given a third output. So if you see in this case, you got here as well as R square. There is no p value here. Okay, but Tableau has given some p value also in addition into our normal thing. Okay. So P value also has been 0.0026. What do you mean by that? If you just talk about normal hypothesis, what is P value and what exactly the significance of this result? Because here you are not going to do anything, you're straight away using these values. So what is meaning of this P value? So your demand is 6.4285 into year plus, that is plus into minus 12920.1. Okay. So in this case, what is this P values referring here? What is usually P value in hypothesis testing? So out of 60, 39 failed in BRM, right? Is this because of that or any other thing? So P value is probability value. Okay, so what is the probability of impact of X on Y or Y on X something? So here, if you see, so this year is very strong significant variable. So year is having a strong significant impact on the demand. Okay, as it is a straight line. So and R square is also telling 0.9168. Okay, so this is explained variance. So 91.68% of demand is explained by year. Okay, so year is a strong significant variable. So that is what significance that 0.0026 is telling. Okay, so if we try to change that in other, so here 50, 60, 72, 68. Instead of that, if we just try to make this as a 62, and so this is 74, and I'm trying to change the values slightly here. Okay, so this is 58, and so there's also 74. Okay, if we try to take this value, now I'm taking sheet 2. Okay, so if I just take this sheet 2 here, I think now the same thing has come here also. Okay, so as it is not coming here, I'll try to open that only. Maybe you can join, but I try to open that only. It's not saved. Okay, so once we try to give a new input, just change the data here. So if I take year and so this year, trend line. Okay, so now you can see, so this is 95% and 4.76. This has got changed and now it has become more significant. Okay, so when I just try to change that one, it is showing still it is more significant because I've changed all the values. Okay, so like that you can see that variation, but here the value has come down 4.26 and 4.68. And so this number has changed. So that is how you can see the significance of that one. So how far this variable is explaining that one. And if you, and even in this case, I think it is an increasing thing only, right? So I'm trying to show that an increase, because of that, we got that value. Suppose if there is any variation here, then we'll not be getting that value correctly. Okay, suppose here if this is some other value, probably we'll try to get some other here, as this is also an increasing trend, so there is no problem. Because of that, the explaining power has got increased. So how far this variable is explaining this value, so that is what we are seeing with the help of that R square. So explanation power with that one. Okay, so this is a trend line in this thing. Is that fine? So trend line with format computing trend lines and R square. Okay, so this is the trend line as well as the paths. Okay, and the paths here you can see this. If you click this path, it will ask like what sort of path that you are expecting. There are variants which you can see. If you click the first one, okay, so this is showing like that. Okay, so this is if you do this one, you can see a stepwise figure for the same thing. And if you click this one, you'll be able to see a step without having this one. So there are different variants of paths that you can see. And if you want to see the line dotted line, it's small. So you can have different varieties. If you click this one, you'll have a small dot. If you click this one, it is going to be what a broader dot. If you click this one, you're going to have a line. And if you click these three, so these are different line types and line patterns that you can see with the help of paths. Okay, so this is one, and this is one. Okay, so this is the paths that you can see here. And you can change the colors also for that one. So what exactly the paths, the colors also can be changed. Okay, so any color that can be changed according to your requirement. Okay, so this is the paths as well as the trend line. Is that clear, guys? Okay, so trend line, paths, and that one. So next is creation of calculation fields. So how can you calculate? How can you create a calculated field? What is a calculation field, and how can you do that one? So fine. Okay, suppose I take any file here. Just okay, we'll see some. So if you take either stores or any particular data set, employment changes in Great Britain. Okay, we'll see this one. Assume that you have taken. Okay, so company's data is there. Okay, so that is better. We'll take that company's data only. So we have some company's data. So in that we'll see what exactly the data. So 19 rows and 5,000, 19 fields and 5,000 rows. Okay, we just try to take that companies here. Now I need to count how many. So how many companies are there? How many workers are there? Rank percentage. Okay. For that, what we can do is yeah. So calculation field. So now I need to find out how many observations are there. 5,000, 2,000 something. So for that, I can just go to analysis and I go to calculate create calculated field. So analysis and create calculated field. So where I'll just mention this one, and I need to define a new variable. Maybe I can just I'm just mentioning the count or number or any value I can tell. I'll just give one. So it starts from one, and I'll apply and check the calculation is valid or not. If this is valid, I'm just clicking that one. Now when I use that one, it has given me an option of count here, and it shows that it is a numerical variable. Okay, so now if I just take that, how many company, so rank wise, so revenue, there are a lot of companies, and if I just use what is the count of that one. Okay, so it has given me an option like how many items are there. So there are 5,000 companies, because I already know that there are 5,000 companies, and for that 5,000 companies, I just calculated one thing. Okay, suppose if you want to do any operation on revenue, so that also can be done. So if you want to find out sales or profit, so that also can be done here. So revenue workers. So how many workers are there in a company? So that also can be done. if I just take this one and if I take workers here, so I think even that also, so as it is a count, it has given that value. So you can do certain operations with the calculative field. If you want to define any user defined, so you can just simply go to analysis and create a calculative field. So here, if I just mention count 2 or count 3, so 1 and apply that one and just click that, and this is also one more thing which I've got. So you can just see that count. Okay, so it will give a count value and you can define any operations also. Okay, so this is one thing which we have done. Is that fine? Because I think we have already seen one problem with this, and I'll just go to that file because that has we have the data is available good in that case. If I just take sales performance, so Tesla, I think. So we have seen Tesla data. So what is the data set which we have used for that one? Okay, so maybe we can use one more data set, which is a superstore. So if you want to see some user defined calculation fields, you can do with that. Okay, so this is what. So we have got profit, we have got sales, something. If you want to find out what is how many units have been sold, or how many, what is the revenue for that one. So how do you find out revenue? How can you find out revenue? Total sales. I think total sales is there. So how can you find out the cost? Okay, so cost. So we have total sales is there, total profit is there. How can you find out cost? Sales minus. Okay, so just one field. So I want to find out cost. So cost, how I'm defining that is, so can I call it as a sales minus profit? Because this is, if you see here, previous value is a function defined by Tableau. ABC is variable which is available here, categorical variable. Product name is a categorical variable available in the same dataset. Profit is a numerical variable available in this dataset. And proper is the function which is defined by the Tableau. So now I am taking this one because we know profit is equal to sales minus cost. But if I want to find out cost, so I'm using sales minus profit. I'll just try to check this one. So now if I want to find out the cost of different product categories, so I'm just taking the segment wise, and if I use my cost in that case, in that particular category, so this is what my cost calculation. Okay, so cost in these three categories is, so in consumer category the cost is 102 something, in corporate category my cost is something, in home offices my cost is something. So this is how you can use your cost pattern. So user defined functions, okay, or user defined variables. So now I have defined one cost variable, which is a new one, which is like that. Is that clear? Because this is what some kind of similar thing that we are seeing. So you can do many operations. You can do arithmetic operation like plus, minus, into, division, percentage. All arithmetic operations and aggregations can be done with respect to a new user-defined variable. Okay, because we have only two variables according to this one. According to this, we have profit and sales. So with this, I just found out what is this one. And you need to find out the number of units sold. How can you find out number of units sold with this? If you see here, the quantity is here and sales here. Okay, so if you multiply or if you do that one quantity divided by other quantity, you will find out what is the selling price per unit something. Okay, so how many units have been sold and what is the total sales? So we have got total sales and how many units sold. you can find out selling price, average selling price per unit. Okay, so that is what you can find out. Another thing. So if I want to create a new field, so I have to go to analysis and I'll create a new field. So here I want to find out selling price, average selling price. Okay, so average selling price, I want to perform certain division operation. So what should be divided with what? Sales divided by quantity. So whatever, when I try to find type first one or two characters, that will give me an option. Quartal is use a type different function, and quantity is a data variable available here. Okay, so if I just click that one, so and I'll click this and I can use this one. Okay, so if I see this quantity and I'm just taking this one and this one, so quantity wise, so segment wise average price is, so selling price is what I have found out now. So this is what category wise I've got consumer, so selling price, average selling price based on category. Okay, so if I don't want segment wise, and I can take another option like product um, subcategory. So subcategory wise, I've got different average selling price. So this is average selling price of overall data. Okay. So this is how you can define your user defined variables. Is that clear? So multiplication can be done, division can be done, plus can be done, minus can be done, percentages can be done, all aggregations can be done. So with these things. Okay. So this is user defined values. Okay, so next creation of calculation wheels, dual access and access aggregation. So dual access and access aggregation. Here you know, first thing for subcategory you are taking sum of selling prices. Selling prices, average selling price has been taken. Suppose if you want to show the profitability also with this, so you can use the same sheet. So I'm taking this profit also here. Okay, so if I take that profit here, so this is what? There are certain variables which have got profit. There are certain categories which have got loss also. There are three categories which have got losses. So if you see the product category in different colors, I think this is some more. Okay. Now, what is dual access basically talks about? This is chart one, this is chart two. You can club two charts into a single chart with the help of that dual access. Okay. So for that dual access, what you should do is you have to just go to the second one, and if you'll be able to see here. Okay, so you'll be able to see the second only the dual access. If I try to do that with the first one, I'll not be able to check. I'll not be able to get that one. So there is only mark type, but here I can see the dual access. If I just click the dual access, default you'll be getting dots. Okay, so default you'll be getting dots. So these are the two dots related to one. These are two dots related. So these are two dots related to that one. So here you can make change in the field. So you can just go to this one and maybe mark type. If you want to use this as a bar, that can be done. Or if you want to use this as some other circle shape, I think it's already there. So area, that can be done. Okay. So either first or second can be changed. Okay. But you have to see that. Now there is one more issue here. If you see, segregation is something where left side you have got 40,000 K, and here also you have 40. So the upper axis here it is 90,000 K, and here it is 140,000 K. Suppose this is in 3-digit number, 4-digit number, 5-digit number, and this is in 2-digit number. In that case, you can make two axes as same. Okay, so that is called a segregation. And if you see here, you can see so synchronization. Once you try to click right side of this one, you'll be able to get something which is called as synchronized axis. Okay, if you try to synchronize, now you see minus 20K to minus 140K. So 140K, so minus 10K to 90K. So these two axes are different, primary y-axis and secondary y-axis. If you try to click this one, you will be able to see minus this primary y-axis, and you can do different charts. Okay, so this is how you'll be able to do that synchronization. And area also, I think you will be able to change the colors. This is what the colors which we have got. And if you want to use any other color, probably you'll be able to do that. Is it coming? Okay, I think it should come. Be sometimes it may not come. Okay, so this is for all automatic. Okay, so is this dual axis and synchronization? Is that fine? So axis synchronization. Okay, so this is one thing where you can use different colors and different axes. Okay, so next is dashboard creation. Suppose if you have multiple options, you can create the dashboard thing, and the story creation and saving a file. So I think even story creation. So if you use this option, you will be getting dashboards, and if you use this option, you will be getting the stories. Okay, so stories, and preferably stories will be good if it is a time series analysis, or if you have some 10 to 20 pages. Okay, so you can just use different pages and create a story according to the requirement. And if you just open this one, so I think this one, you will be able to see. So last but one, you will be able to see how many sheets are here. As of now, I think there is only one sheet. And with the application of Tableau is you should have more number of sheets. Okay. And remember for dashboard creation, so try to maintain a maximum of 6 slides. Okay, so 6 sheets. If you use more sheets, the visibility will not be that much good. And use a filter for the dashboard. Okay, so one thing is like to just assume that want to create a new dashboard. So quickly, I'll try to create the profits. So, and if you want to see a tree map, you can use that tree map. So for this, I think. Okay, so you just try to create something. Because so this is sheet 2, and country wise, I want to see a quantity sales, city wise. Okay, the size. Okay, so these are different products that we have got. Okay, so I just wanted to create sales and category wise. Okay, so assume that I am creating something. So here, if I just wanted to use now, how many sheets are there? You can see I've got only 4 sheets. Okay, because I just wanted to show 4 or 5 sheets. You can create a real thing also. If I take this one, it gives only up to this much. Okay, but I want you to use the total space. For that, there are multiple options. Okay, instead of that, what you can do is you can just go to size, and here width you can do 1600 something. Okay, so now it is completely there. In addition to that, there is something called as automatic. Suppose I've got this much, so now it is like this. How can I make sure that this is completely used? Means I can click this one, and here instead of that range, there is something else automatic. So click that one. So this is one more option which allows you to use your total screen. Okay, either to specify 1600, 1500 according to your screen size, or if you use that automatic, it automatically gives this particular value. The total screen can be used. Okay, now if you don't want this one, so take that, and if you use any other thing, so Tableau usually allows 50%, 50%, and it places the second sheet where exactly that you have placed. Suppose if I place this here on the top, it has got placed. Okay, if I take this here, it has got placed here, and if I take the fourth one also here, I can place in this one. So now you can see my 4 charts are there. So this is what I wanted to show, somewhat a bigger one. So second, third, fourth. Or what I can do is I can just remove this. Okay, and this I want to have a bigger one. And so this I want to have here. Okay, suppose if this is like that, I wanted to remove all these things, and how can I connect all the dashboards? So if I click this one and I'm closing this value, and I'm clicking this and closing this, and I'm clicking this and I'm closing. Now I don't have anything here. Okay, so if I just wanted to use a filter which has to be allocated to everyone, so I can just use a filter here. Okay, so if I just use that filter, what option I require here? So just go to a filter and use a subcategory. So now you can see a subcategory wise filter is there. And if I check this one, so now whatever the works that I'm doing, which slide is changing? So when I'm doing any change here, only this is getting affected, right? So if you see here, now I got storage, now envelope, so binders, appliances, something. Now what and all changing? I can see only one variable is getting changed or one chat is getting changed. Okay, so for that, what I can do is, so if you just click that here, apply to all worksheets. Okay, if we apply to all worksheets, and it will ask like using related data sheets or using this data source or selected worksheets. Only this workbook. Use this one. Okay, and here if you just try to apply all worksheets, so okay, so now it will ask like what data sheets that you want me to allocate. So when I just use that one, so worksheets one, two, three are there. So maybe I can use all, select all on dashboard, and I'm clicking OK. Okay, I think it is already got selected, right? Maybe. Okay, so now if I try to use that one, okay, so everything got changed. If I use appliances, all appliances related content has been shown. Now if I use this chairs, all chairs got included. If I use binders, all are getting changed. Is that clear? So now the work is whatever the dashboard that you have created, that should be linked. Okay. The same thing which you have done even in your Excel dashboard. Okay. Even in Excel dashboard, you have clicked one and you have connected to all sources. Okay. All worksheets should be connected. Otherwise, whatever the filter that you are using, that will not be applied. So is that clear? So how we have done this one? Any doubts? Because this is what which we have not seen earlier. I think we have created a dashboard, but linking all the worksheets have not been done. Okay, so suppose here, assume that there is nothing in my dashboard. Okay, so assume that I've deleted all my dashboards. Okay, so now I don't have anything here. It's a clean one. So I'm taking sheet one. Okay, I'm taking sheet 4, I'm taking sheet 3, I'm taking a sheet 2 something. Okay, so this is what the basic visualization, so basic chat, and so this is related to this is related to this. Okay, I want to clean everything and I want to use a separate folder for filter for all. Okay, so this got cancelled, so this also got cancelled. I think it is taking some time. So this got cancelled. Now I've got only one. So this also I'm deleting. Now I don't have any particular filters or something. Okay. So now I would like to apply some filter. So if I just click that filter, so I need to use filter for all. And if I just come down here, more options, it will ask me like where exactly I want to use a filter. Use a filter here. Okay. So if I just use a filter, like what filter I want. Okay, so this on what basis I have to take a filter? So this filter, either category wise, segment wise, subcategory wise, sum of profits, because these are the four fields which I've used. Suppose I think subcategory is somewhat a bigger one, so I'm taking that one because subcategory is somewhat more. I can take any other thing also. If I use that one, so filter. So if I take category, I'll be getting only three options. Okay, for learning purpose, you can do that. So now if I use that furniture, I got only furniture in these three places or three categories. If I use office supplies, so I've got something. If I use this technology, I've got it. Now, whatever the checkboxes which I'm trying to apply, that is applied only for this one. So these three are not connected for that one. Suppose instead of this, if I just take filter here, and if I try to apply a filter in this case, so the same category I'm taking here, and if I use furniture, oh, furniture is reflected only in this category, and office supplies reflected only in that. So technology is also reflected only in that one. But I need to connect this category to this. For that, what should I do? So just go to this drop down menu and it will ask like apply to worksheets. So we have got lot of options, but even in this case, I think you have already seen how to use a filter. If you want a single one, you can take this. If you want to have a single slider, you can take this. Okay, let us see how the single slider will be appearing in a dashboard. Okay, so here if you just right click, so when I click right, it is taking only furniture. Okay, only furniture is this one. If I click one more time, only my office supplies are being shown here. If I click the third time, only technology is being shown. Okay, so this is what the application of this with that. So if you want to have a list, this is what the list. You can see two or three at a time. So like that, you can have different options as we have used in sheets. However, we have used in sheets, the same thing can be done even in this case. But now my intention is to apply this filter to all. Okay, so if you use this, now it is highlighted as only to this sheets. Maybe I can select worksheet. So here, if I just go to that one, it will ask like which sheets to be connected. Sheet 4 is already connected, so it is there. Okay, existing field keeps filter for furniture shape something. Okay, so I'm just using this sheet, this sheet, this sheet. Suppose instead of that one, if I select only one, I'm clicking OK. Whatever this I'm applying, so only two cases it will be applied. So only in this and this, we are able to see the change. So click this one, we can see changes happening only in second and third one. So if I click that one, you can see the changes happening here. So again, we'll go to that one, apply to worksheets. So selected sheets. So if I try to select a third sheet also, now if I click that one, whatever the changes that I'm making, so that will apply 1, 2, 3 sheets only. So this is not changed even now. So if I click this, so second is also changing. Now third is also changing. But I actually wanted to have a selection for all the sheets. So either I can select like this or I can select one by one like that. So only sheet 4 is connected now, and you can click now. So now whatever I see here, so furniture, all four got reflected. This all four got reflected. So this all four got reflected. So this is how you can connect all the sheets and you can make sheet one change. So changes and pane can be changed, everything can be changed. Is that clear? So filter can be applied to that. Suppose if you don't want this filter and if you want another filter, so what you can do is you can just go to a separate filter here. So filter and category wise, I'm not able to see much difference because there are only three categories. So subcategory is one which has got maximum thing. So you can just use that one and you can remove this field, this filter. Okay, so just remove that filter. Now this is what. Okay, so now if you just try to show one by one, you'll be able to see a very good visualization. So art, so this is what comparison of art and this one. If you try to see the third one, so this is the third, fourth, fifth. Like you'll be able to add one by one, and you can see how these are connected and these are getting changed. Okay, so this is how the dashboard creation will be done. Is that clear? Okay, so fine. Once the dashboard is done, dashboard storytelling, I think story also we have created. I'll quickly show how the story will be created. Story one here. So this is usually a blank. So I'm that to the next connected. So that also can be done. And so here, usually this will be done in a presentation mode. Okay, so in presentation mode, this is the first one. And if you try to move this rightward, so this is one. Okay, so this is second sheet. This is third sheet. This is fourth sheet. This is fifth sheet and a dashboard. Okay, so even in this dashboard, I think you will be able to make the changes. So in storyboard, the advantage is you can take the total dashboard option here and you can do whatever the filtering options that you have shown. So that also can be shown in here. So corporate, comparison of 2, comparison of 3, 4, all this comparison can be done in a storyboard. So that is what most of the people feel storyboard is more powerful compared to dashboard. And dashboard, there is some restriction is there. So though you can use these things and you will not be able to show multiple sheets, but in storyboard you'll be able to show multiple fields also. Okay, so and one more option that you will be getting in dashboard is duplicate thing, the layout. Okay, here you can add a caption also. So if whatever the caption that you want, you can just mention here subcategory wise profits or sales or something, like whatever is there you can do that. So coming to this one, so this is category wise or product wise. So product wise sales, and so this is city wise quantity, I think city wise quantity. And so this is what category wise profits. So in question, we'll be given some options and you have to create dashboard or storyboard based on that. Okay. Okay, so there is no table. And so this is one option which you can see. You can just use the numbers also. The second option is you can use the numbers. And here this screen, you are seeing only up to some extent, right? So that also can be changed, I think. Okay, so layout, the size. Yeah, so here you can see the size. Here just use this automatic. If automatic is not being shown, maybe you can just use this here. So 1600, so that you'll be able to see your full screen. So for a storyboard, you'll have that same size options here. Okay. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you want to see only this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that also can be selected. So third option I'm selecting, fourth option I'm selecting, fifth option I'm selecting. Suppose if you use a layout like layout related that one. So if you want to see category wise profits, you can see here. If you want to see city wise quantity, you can see here. Product wise quantity, you can see that here. And if you want to see a dashboard, I think it is a duplicate one. You can delete that. Okay, so category, so category wise profits, I want to see like this. Okay, and this one that can be done. Okay, or if you want to exclude the remaining things, that also can be done. So there are multiple options available in this screen. At every screen, it is more user friendly. Okay, so right, so this is product wise different things. Okay, so this is a storyboard, and once the storyboard is done, so joins types. So there are basically four types. Yeah. Okay, so the storyboard also is same. So once it is done, either save. So once it is saved, download. It will ask the options, and download as Tableau workbook. Okay, so I think the system is somewhat slow today here. So maybe I'm just making this as storyboard 2. Story 4. Okay, so once I use that story 4, and if I try to close that one, it will be available. Okay, so now here if you want to download, so this option will allow us to download in different formats, and preferably go for that Tableau workbook. So Tableau workbook. So just click the Tableau workbook, and version you always prefer current. So no problem because you'll be using advanced version. No, you can do that one. So once you do that, you can just open in your downloads. It will be there, either system or your system, anything. You'll have your it is available here. So now you can see everything here. So sheet one, what happened? Sheet two, what happened? Everything is here. You'll not be able to lose. So there is no nothing lose of any information. Okay. So this is how you can download, and you can either keep that in the folder, or suppose if you are mailing from your system, you can mail to the concerned person. Okay. So this is what that thing. And so joints, there are four types of joints. I think here one of things I've shown here. Okay, so there is left join, right join, inner join, outer join. So these are four types of joints that you can have. And so Gantt charts and critical paths. Okay, so here manual and Excel and Tableau. So this is what I told, but manual as the paper is not being given to you. Mostly you can skip that manual part, but it is a better practice, and it is very important that you know that manual thing, because suppose if for a Tableau you should have a specific format, especially date is important, starting date and ending date is important. Suppose if starting date and ending date is not given, only activity, predecessor and duration is given, you should know how to plot manually. So then you have to use the data for a start date and end date, some assumption date. For that purpose, you should know manually. So that is what my intention. And I think I've shared that slides and Excel sheets also with you, like the manual calculations. So try to follow that one. In exam, I might be giving the dates, but for regular, for your courses and for your knowledge, so try to learn manual thing also. So that is what we have seen. And Gantt charts we have seen, filter options we have seen, single, multiple, and drop down. Okay, this is what this. And as anyhow, the exam is on 5th, right? So before that, I'll be available mostly from 24th. I'll be somewhat free. And if you have any specific doubts, and if you have not attended the earlier sessions, you can come and meet me. Okay, so fine. So this, but if you can study all the studies topics, so sure you are going to get minimum 50 to 60 marks. Minimum 50 to 60. Because the other things remaining about the time saving, how you are applying that one, filtering. Because a Tableau, though it is quite easy, simple, you need to identify which factor has to be taken or which calculation has to be taken. For that, you need to spend some time. Okay. But apart from that, if you are thorough with this 36 topics, sure you are going to get 70 also. But you should be thorough, and you should be able to solve, save, share quickly. So the time management is very important, because though it is simple, you might not have a track on time. So that is what the required thing. That's fine. So Gantt chart in this one. Okay, you want Gantt chart in Tableau or Excel? Where is it practice file? There is only percentage. Okay, this one. Okay, so this is what something. Okay, this is quite. So here, if you have earliest start, earliest float, latest float, you'll be able to calculate the slack. So slack is simply either earliest float minus, so latest start minus earliest start, or latest finish minus earliest finish. Okay, either F minus D or G minus S will give you slack. Okay, and then there is a slack. It shows that it is not, when the slack is zero, it is a critical activity, and this activity cannot be slowed down. This activity cannot be slowed down. This cannot be delayed. This activity cannot be delayed. One, 2, 3 days you have done. and activity B takes 4 days. So after 3, because as according to the problem, there is a predecessor, B has to be started after A. So from third 4 days will be given for that one. So activity C follows A, which is only 3 days, and it will be starting here. So now you can see there is a gap here, right? So this day it can be extended. So that's why you'll be able to see slack as 1 day. Okay, so in that duration, if you just open that file, you'll be able to see that one. So, okay, so when there is some gap here, yeah, this is what the table. So A will take 3 days. So after so predecessor is B for B, predecessor is A and for A. For C, predecessor is A. After B and C completion together, you have to start B. After completion of B, we should be starting E. After completion of B, we should be starting A. So this problem will be given to you, and manually you should be able to understand. Okay, so after first you can start A. So this is the first one. After completion of A, you can start B and C. So B and C are starting simultaneously, but A should be definitely completed by that time. After completion of B and C, so B and C completion together, we have started B. After completion of B, we have started. Okay, so after completion of B, you are starting some other thing. Okay, so after B, we have started E. After C, there is G. So after C, there is G. Like that, we'll be having this one. So this is very important for plotting this one. And what is the duration? So for durations, as it is 3 days, 0 plus 3 will be 3. So 3 will be starting here. So 3 will be starting here. So 3 plus 4, 7. 3 plus 3, 6. So 3 will be starting after this and this. So this takes 7 days, this takes 6 days. You will take 7 days. So 7 is the maximum.
Doing this manual calculation, we cannot.
Definitely, because without this, you'll not be able to do manually. So first you have to do manual, then only you'll be able to proceed further.
But it will not have.
Yeah, that's what. Like so, in that case, like maybe I'll give the starting date, ending date. Okay? Either I should give this, or if I'm asking you to plot manually, definitely I'll be giving this one. Suppose if there is no manual calculation, I'll be definitely giving this duration, this as well as the starting and ending. That starting and ending will definitely tell that okay, so this has to be completed, then only you are going to start this one. So the data will be somewhat like this. Okay. So maybe I'll give some kind of data like this. Okay. Maybe I'll start only, I'll give maybe ES, LS, EF I'll give so that you can find out slack. And you can see this activity is a very big activity, and there is some activity which is here E. It has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 days possibility is there to extend that activity. Maybe I can float, do that, move that here. So for this activity also, there is a possibility to listen because I have to complete this activity before this is done. So till 19 days, I got an option. Maybe I can extend these activities. Okay. So, but after this, so this is one critical activity because after completion of this, immediately I have to start this one. After completion of this, immediately I have to start this last activity. So this is what a Gantt chart in an Excel.
This data I will explain in tables.
Yeah. So
Can I explain with the labels and everything?
okay. So one thing. Okay, so as you're okay with this, I'm going to yeah, so start ended. So I don't know which file I have taken here.
Sir, that one.
Practice.
Yeah. No. I was the practice.
Okay, suppose if this is the case, if I just see, yeah, this is a start. Fine. So I think this is not that one. So this is 250 data set.
Yes, sir.
With this, will not be able to get that one correctly. So I need to have
We can't do that for that.
we can do Gantt chart for that, but it will not give that one. Suppose if you just go for this one, so normal Gantt charts will be done like this. Here, if you see the duration, house number, sheet number, so start date, end date. Okay, start date, end date are pointing this one. So activity you have to select, start date you have to select, duration you have to select. So once you select these three things, then only it will be appear. So suppose if I take for this one, you can see it asks for one date and one measure. So one date and one duration are compulsory. If I click this one, so this is what the Gantt chart which is shown here. But as this is continuously one by one, you will not see any variation. But what you can do is you can just click this one. So year, quarter, month, week. So this is what you can see that one. Suppose if you just take and do this one. So this will simply show the starting date only. So starting date, something. Okay. So this is what you can see. Okay. Suppose that's why I think that there is one more file which has got that Excel. So if I just take the Gantt chart practice. So I think I've shared one file with you guys. First one. Yes. Yes, I think. Okay, so you don't have any class now, right? Okay, so if you just see this one, okay, because this is somewhat good. Now you see, if I just open that queue, okay, this is not that one. Yeah, so these are the dates which we have got. So once you click this one, I need to drag this data. Okay, so this is what. So as I said, activity ID, start date, duration. If I select these three things, this is not getting highlighted. Why? Because my start date is defined as categorical variable data type. So for categorical variable, it will not show. You should have is definitely a calendar data type for that one. Okay, so this date, I'm trying to change this to date. Okay, so now you see that data type has got changed. So take ID, start date, and the duration. So now I can see this one. So earlier I was not able to open this because the no date has been given here. So if I click that one, so this is what a general thing, because I've taken only 2025 January 1, 2, 3 something. So this is year. Because of that, it is like that. If I click that one, quarter, no change. Month, there is a change. So if I click that, week, there is a change. Okay, so now if I try to make this as a bigger one, and if I just click that, so it is showing 29th December, and still there is a possibility of doing that thing. So I'm taking this as D. So first activity has been started in January. The same problem which I have shown in Excel. So after A, B, and C, there is 1 day gap. So even this gap, I have to see. It shows only the starting date because I've selected starting date only. So starting date is 16. Starting date is 16. So starting date is 14. Starting date is 10 February. Starting date is 15th February. So here, what I can do is I'm taking description to here. Okay, so description to table. Now you can see here this table instead of automatic, I'm clicking that in the center here. Okay, so now the duration also I'm taking that here. So this is what a Tableau data thing. So it's duration 6 days, duration 8 days, duration 6 days, duration 24 days, duration 6 days, duration 12, duration 4, duration 4, And you see, after this only it is starting. After this only this is starting. After this only this is starting like that. Okay. So this can be extended to one more day. So this can be extended to 5-6 more days. So 24, 6, I think 18 days, there is a possibility of extension. So 4 and 12. So same problem which I've taken, slight changes in the number. Is that clear? Okay, so this is how we'll be doing that in Tableau. Now you can see the dates aligned here. So till starting to ending one. Okay.
So can you give dates like
3, 4, 5. I think there is a possibility of extension for this one. So there will be possibility you can just extend these things because as you are trying to show everything here, it has got compressed. Maybe you can extend that also. Okay. Fine. So this is from my side, and you prepare well. And if you get any doubts, I'll be able to take some doubts clarification session also. Fine. Okay, boss. So is that fine? Okay. So just prepare well, and if you have any doubts, you can get back to me. Right. Okay, boss. So thank you. All the best for your exam.